Hey, what's up guys? It's Tom. Back to another video here. Kind of gloomy, crappy day here in Connecticut, so it's been kind of hanging out, listening to music, but yeah, back to show some more records I got. So a lot of this stuff is new. I've had these for a while, so actually one of them is new, I guess. The rest I've either had or yeah. Anyway, first up, Marion Brown, Why Not? Released in '68. This is a reissue from 2002. Originally released on ESP-Disk. This is the Get Back Italian pressing. Really nice thick pressing. Label same as the cover. I guess the originals actually have this, the back artwork, as the front, and they flipped it for the reissue. So I actually think I prefer the like it is right now. I think I like this more than the back, but yeah. So on here you got, other than Marion Brown on alto sax, Norris Jones or Cerrone on bass, Stanley Cowell piano, Rashid Ali on drums. So really, really dope. Great album. Not really, it's free, but it's not really free jazz. I guess more kind of like bop or advanced hard bop, post bop, stuff like that. Really cool. Definitely highly recommended. And thank you to Tony for that one, because I know he traded in his he traded this in so he can get he got an original, so I was able to pick this up. So thanks, man, that was awesome. Glad I was able to grab that. Got a few more Marion Brown here. Next one is Marion Brown and Gunter Hampel with Reeds and Vibes from '78 on the Improvising Artists label. You got Marion Brown on alto sax, wood flute, percussion, and Gunter Hampel on vibraphone, flute, and percussion. I've only listened to this a few times, but great, really, really good. You can't go wrong with Marion Brown, in my opinion. Produced by Paul Bley, so cool picture of them in the studio there on the back. And here's the label. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. I believe you could still find this pretty easily. I got it for pretty cheap, so. Sorry, yeah, it's really hot in here. Just got out of the shower too, so sweating crazy. Moving on, we got Marion Brown. This is the Marion Brown Quartet, subtitled or self-titled. Sorry, album self-titled. My ESP-Disk again. I'm trying to show all my ESP-Disks that I picked up recently. So there's the label. On the back it has, let me show you guys. The back is the artwork. Front. I believe this is a third pressing. Pretty sure. I know ESP-Disk was kind of all over the place there. So it's kind of hard to know what pressing is from when, and you know what looks like what, but still really cool. So for players on here, this is a similar quartet to the last one, but you got Alan Shorter on trumpet, or Benny Maupin, I believe they switched between the two on saxophone, Ronnie Boykins on bass, who's just awesome on here, loves playing on here, Reggie Johnson on bass, and Rashid Ali on percussion drums. So really great. Just a great free jazz blowing session. Awesome. Got a pretty good deal on that too, so can't complain. Alright, got a few more ESPs here to show. Next up, Sonny Murray with also self-titled, coincidentally, just Sonny Murray. This one came out in '66, I believe. So players on here, you got, I'm going to butcher his name, Jacques Cursil. I know I've seen the name before, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I believe it's Jacques Cursil on trumpet, Jack Graham on sax, Byard Lancaster also on sax, who's great on here, does an amazing job, and Sonny Murray percussion, and Alan Silva on bass. So really, really cool. Fantastic free jazz album once again. It's kind of what they were doing around this time, just lots of free jazz, so really great. This particular ESP does not have a address on the label, but I got this one sealed, so I didn't know what to expect. I was pretty sure it was a later pressing, and it was, but I got such a good deal on it that I couldn't really pass it up, so I have to grab that. Sonny Murray's always great too. Much like Marion Brown, it's kind of hard to go wrong with his stuff. And alright, got one more ESP here, one more jazz ESP joint. This is Giuseppe Logan's More. I know I've showed this before. I've showed more before, but sorry, that was lame. But I traded this for my other copy because the vinyl itself is better. Cover is in kind of the same shape. Sorry, a little bit worse because it has a small split on the bottom, but it also came with a poster. So let me show the label first, which is just a plain ESP label. Nothing too sexy about it, but still really cool. And this was just a straight up amazing album. I really love to get the Giuseppe Logan Quartet album, but this is awesome too. I know I've seen a few people show this. For players on here, you got Don Poland piano, Wilfred Graves on drums, Reggie Johnson on bass, Eddie Gomez on bass, and Giuseppe Logan plays alto sax, bass clarinet, flute, and piano. So just a really great out there free jazz session. So good. And it actually came with this really cool poster, which I'm not sure if it was supposed to come with this originally. But this is a reproduction by ESP of Hieronymus Bosch, The Garden of Delights, from the Prado Museum in Madrid. Really cool. So definitely wanted to grab that when I saw it came with the poster. I'm probably not going to put it up. I might frame it. I don't know. I really do like the imagery. Some really crazy stuff going on. Definitely check it out. The Garden of Delights by Hieronymus Bosch. Really cool stuff. Alright, and I think that's it for the ESP Jazz stuff. I do have one more ESP to show. This is Pearls Before Swine, Balaclava. I'm kind of starting to branch out more into folk and psych stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of really particular about that. I don't like a lot of the stuff, but this was awesome. This I loved. Tom Rapp, his group, if you're not familiar, came out in 1968, kind of themed as a anti-war album. So really, really cool. Kind of described as psychedelic folk, but it's really more folk, in my opinion. So I can show the label. Really cool. This album was dedicated to a guy that I guess was the only traitor, I guess, in World War II for the U.S. So his name was, yeah, he was the only United States soldier executed for desertion, Private Edward Slovic. And the actual, the cover here is really cool too. Crazy stuff going on there. I guess it's themed after the Charge of Light, Charge of a Light Brigade at Balaclava in 1854, so that's where that name comes from. Yeah, great stuff though, great folk. Definitely looking to get into more stuff like this. Alright, next up here we got another kind of folk, more rock, actually. This is more like, I guess, psych rock and stuff. Some VCLT from Mr. David Horowitz, or Sequoia Flame, the Burning Plants himself. Frank Zappa. I forgot the name of the album. Apostrophe. Sorry, I'm not familiar with Zappa at all. It's my first Zappa piece, so really happy to get it though. Listened to it a few times, and I think this is great. I love it. Definitely like to get into more stuff like this. Lots of different players on here, including Jack Bruce, George Duke, Jean-Luc Ponty, people like that. So, and a bunch of other people. But just, yeah, great stuff. The sleeve's a little beat, but that's okay because the vinyl is in just amazing shape on Discreet Records. So, thank you, David. This was really cool. And I did send your other album. Should be there probably today or tomorrow, so be looking out for that. But yeah, Frank Zappa, Apostrophe. Great stuff. First Zappa piece. Maybe not my last, we'll see. Hopefully not. So I decided it's time to show some of my Polish jazz. I received a bunch from my dad, his collection. I guess for my mom and my dad, it was both of theirs, so I should thank both of them. But first up here, we got Tomasz Stanko Quintet. I'm a big fan of Stanko and almost all that he does. So this is from 1970, I believe. Anyway, this is Music 4K. Basically dedicated to Krzysztof Komeda. Players on here, you got Stanko on trumpet, Zbigniew Seifert on alto sax, Janusz Muniak on tenor sax, Bronisław Suchanek on bass, and Janusz Stefanski on drums. Just amazing. I think this might be one of my favorite Stanko albums on the Polskie Nagrania label, Polish Recordings. I'm from Poland, by the way, if you don't know. I was actually born there, moved to the U.S. when I was younger, but yeah, so, but great. Unfortunately, these Polish covers are really flimsy. They deteriorate really quick and really easily over time, but yeah, this album, so good. It's, I guess you describe it as free jazz, although it's more structured and compositions, more free jazz compositions, not really improv, but just lots of great different tonal manipulation and tonal stretching. Yeah, I don't know, I think it's great. I don't know what to say about this. Definitely check it out. I'll leave some links, obviously, as always, if I can. Alright, and two more from Stanko here to wrap this video up. We got, I believe this one is just called Tomasz Stanko w Pałacu Prymasowskim. So, in the Prymasov Palace, I'm not familiar with that palace. I believe it is a historical landmark in Poland. I know the story behind it. He loved the acoustics there. He thought it was great. It would sound great, so decided to record an album there. Well, one side of an album. This is on the Polish Jazz label, released in '83, I believe. The first side was actually recorded in '73 at the Jazz Jamboree. I believe that was in Poland. Okay, the second side was recorded in '82, so first side in '73. Side A is Piece for Diana, Flair, and second side is live at the Palace Prymasowskim. So, yeah, but great stuff. Improvised, improvisation. So, you also have, aside from Stanko's, Zbigniew Seifert on violin, Janusz Muniak on saxophone, soprano sax, and tenor sax, and Bronisław Suchanek on contrabass, and Janusz Stefanski on percussion. So, really cool. I thought it was funny that I learned this was limited to 15,000 pieces. So that's, yeah, quite a small number there. But it was released in the 80s, so I don't know. And the last one here, we got Tomasz Stanko Music 81, an album recorded in 81 and 82, I believe, but not released until 84. And you got Sławomir Kulopitz, Czesław Bartowski on drums, and Sławomir plays piano, I believe, and Witold Szczurek plays bass. On this one, he was kind of more getting away from his free jazz style on the Polish Nagrania label as well. Kind of getting more away from his free jazz style and more into straight ahead jazz, although the piano and the trumpet on here is awesome. I think it's the best part of the album for me. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Once again, I'll leave links. So I'm sure this video has been going on long enough. I'll leave the rest of the Polish albums for next time. Yeah, but definitely getting into the Polish jazz, more Eastern Bloc, and obviously trying to get it more into folk and psych stuff. So I noticed I'm more into the Japanese psych scene. more than the American, although there's a lot of great American stuff too, so British stuff as well. But anyway, that's it guys, sorry to drag this on. I hope everyone is well, everyone have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.